Hello. I have been having thoughts this morning. I know, dangerous. I've thought quite a bit, and this is years of thinking too much, years of dog walks where I had no one to talk to except myself and the dogs, obviously. And I just get thinking. I get thinking about different things. And one thing in particular that I really just felt the need to share with you today is the concept of being unevenly yoked with someone. I'm not talking about eggs, okay? For those of you who didn't grow up in the 17th century, unlike myself, I know, I don't look it, thank you. Hyaluronic acid, you're very welcome. It's an old farming term. If you know, you know. A yoke, Y-O-K-E, not Y-O-L-K, Y-O-K-E, it's like a wooden, kind of like a wooden plank that hitches two oxen together. So when we talk about being evenly yoked or unevenly yoked with another person, what we're talking about is when you've got two oxen and they need to be yoked together, harnessed together to plow a field. You need two oxen who are roughly the same size and a similar temperament. You could have two oxen, I mean, you can use your brain, rub all your brain cells together and work out that a big ox and a tiny ox trying to pull a plow at the same time, it's not going to work. It's no good. No one wants to see that, okay? They're going to be tripping over each other. It's not a good time for anyone. Equally, you could have two oxen who are same size. So in a human relationship, this could look like, you know, you're two people who have the same capacity for a loving relationship. When I say relationship, that could be friendship, family relationships, romantic, whatever it is. You're the same size oxen, you have the same capacity, and yet your temperaments are way too different. Way too different, wildly different. You've got one oxen, you know, like ADHD all over the place, you know, can't stick to the lines, whatever it is. And the other one's there, like, you know, hey man, let's just like chill out. We can plow the fields next year, dude. Like, it's not gonna work. You know, you're not heading in the same direction. You're not going at roughly the same speed. So that's a general idea of what it means to be evenly yoked or unevenly yoked, unequally yoked, however you want to say it. And this, again, I think this most commonly is talked about in romantic relationships, a romantic context, but it does apply to friendships. If you often have feelings of frustration, resentment, anxiety within a relationship, it's likely that you are unequally yoked. Now, I'm not saying that one or the other person is a bad person. It's just a case of one or both of you're unable to meet each other's needs within the connection to just a satisfactory level. So you might both be decent enough people, but it's just not going to work out simply for the fact that you have such wildly different needs. One of you has a need for a massive amount of personal time, personal space, distance, going into hermit mode all the time. That is not going to work for someone who needs a lot of closeness. Now you could bring this back to attachment theory if you want to. That's one way of looking at it. But I think and I have nothing against attachment theory. It's absolutely fascinating, well worth looking into. However, this is my take on it. When we can have a tendency at times to over-intellectualize everything and to some extent take on a role of like the therapist in a relationship, either for a partner, for a friend, whatever it is. But you know, you can be there for someone through difficult times. You can be there, you can listen when they need to talk without therapizing. I don't know, I don't think that's a word. We're gonna leave it in there. Therapizing. I do good English. Without therapizing, God, that's gonna bug me. Without therapizing the situation. Let's just move on, move through it. I think when we get to the point where we start think, oh, why they, oh, they've pulled away, they've blah, 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 blah. We start over intellectualizing, thinking about the other person's needs. And that's good. That's good. There's nothing more frustrating and nothing less fulfilling than a relationship with someone who the universe seems to end at the tip of their nose. I mean, they're completely incapable and or unwilling to even think about the needs of others. It's literally like speaking to a 2-year-old. They just can't conceptualize. I don't know what it is, like a lack of object permanence or something. Like, bless them. I hope they can work that out. It's not your job. It's not your job. You are not a rehabilitation center. You're not. We can be supporting characters in other people's lives. We can be a supporting character, but we're not the hero. We're not coming in to save the day. And I'm saying this because I'm so guilty of this, and I don't want you wasting your time and energy and ending up feeling drained and used and discarded, because that's what can happen. Either you'll end up walking away out of frustration, out of being completely drained, out of feeling unfulfilled, or they'll end up sort of feeling better and better and then eventually discard you because you were never equally yoked to begin with in terms of the effort that you both put in to doing your own inner work. So they've sort of used you up like a resource, and now that you're drained and tired all the time, they don't have the emotional maturity to really see what's going on, see that you actually need some energy back, you need to be given back to. And I truly am so uncomfortable looking at any kind of relationship as something that should be transactional. I'm not for a second suggesting that we start at the end of every day, we pull out a little spreadsheet and like, okay, so I gave him 6 compliments today, and then he, my text that I sent was 76 characters, and he only sent one that was 57 characters back. We're unequally yoked. Like, let's not be psychotic, okay? Let's calm down. Not suggesting that at all. But at the same time, you have to feel that there is an equal exchange, that you are giving from your own overflow rather than giving out of obligation because they need you, right? You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. To pretend, Melissa. There has to be more or less an equal energetic exchange, because otherwise you feel drained, unappreciated, taken advantage of. And a lot of people, and look, I've done this in the past. I'm not saying I'm up here, superior, whatever. Far from it, please. Is when you recognize these things in yourself, you become conscious of them, that you're able to recognize it in other people. And this is why it's so important to do shadow work and just become conscious of these things. I'm not going to go into that right now because I have this habit of drifting all over the place. We'll be here for hours. Lucky you. So, where were we? Unequally yoked, energetic exchange. Yes. So, you will find that some people will be draining you, and yet, I mean, you feel it in your gut, you know that they're not doing it on purpose. Some people are. Some people, they know exactly what they're doing, and it's a control thing. And if you want to get into, depending, you want to be spiritual, or you want to be into all the psychology stuff or whatever, but realistically, those kinds of people are what would usually, they'd be diagnosed with like narcissism or something. It's not as simple as that. Don't go around diagnosing people, but I'm just saying, if you get that gut feeling like you've communicated with them what the issue with is, you've been very calm, you've been, not passive aggressive or anything with the way you're communicating, just very calm, like, hey, this thing's been bothering me, what do you think we can do to fix it? And instead of collaborating with you on a solution, they double down on the thing that is hurting you, on the thing that is draining you. I know you want to see the best in everyone, Janet, but there comes a point where we start to delude ourselves out of the need to believe the best in others. Not everyone deserves that level of generosity. However, get rid of those people. Vampires. I think that's where the vampire myth comes from, actually. People who drain you energetically. So other people, and this is the vast majority of the time, people will be draining you without realizing it. They don't realize. They just don't understand. What your job is at that point is let go of the victim complex. I know, I've been there. I know what it's like. It's okay. I'm not judging you. It comes from a place of love. Okay? It's your job, because you are not helpless. You are not helpless. You are not powerless. It's your job to take a step back, think to yourself, right, what are my needs? Why am I feeling frustrated within this connection? Why am I feeling unfulfilled? Why do I have this feeling that something's missing within this connection? What are my needs? Which need isn't being met? How could that need be met, right? And open up the conversation. If you're not sure how to do that, talk to a therapist, Honestly, ask ChatGPT, okay? It has some good ideas. It does have some good ideas. Take everything with a grain of salt with ChatGPT. But if you're sort of new to this idea of like communicating openly, and it terrifies you to communicate your needs because you're worried that your needs are wrong, your needs are annoying, it's a good one, your needs are an inconvenience, it might help if you have like permission from someone else, even if that's a robot. ChatGPT, ask a therapist, counselor, whoever, someone you trust, and find a way to communicate that need with this other person. Once you communicate that need and you collaborate, you say, hey, I've got this need, what are your needs? Show interest in their needs as well. How can we both get our needs met? Just to a satisfactory level. It doesn't have to be like 100%, right? But to a satisfactory level, what can we do together to meet our needs collectively in this connection? If you can't do that, it doesn't matter how much you love them. You have to love yourself more. You have to love and respect yourself enough that you honor your own needs. Because if you see your own needs, this could be just for affection, time, quality time, thoughtfulness, thoughtful gifts, whatever it is, you decide. I mean, you're the one living your life. You decide what your needs are. You feel them out. And it gets easier to recognize what they are the longer you actually do this. If you've been in a long habit of denying your own needs, it's going to take a while to get in touch with them again, to accept them, not to feel ashamed of them. But as I was saying, the more you love and respect yourself, you respect your needs, and you stop seeing your needs as unimportant, annoying, inconvenient. You don't have room in your life anymore for people who see your needs as stupid, silly, wrong, dumb, whatever. And you just let them go. Because why wouldn't you? You're allowed to have needs. You have every right to have needs. It's good to have needs. Because when you're truthful about what your needs are, you're no longer hiding them anymore. Hide them away like this. I don't have any needs. I'm just here to give because I'm love and light. Stop that. Don't be silly. We all have needs. But it takes a lot of courage to admit that. I think something I did for the longest time, bless, I thought that not having any needs made me strong. I didn't need anyone. Oh yes, I was just so strong and independent. No, I was terrified of vulnerability. That's what it was. I lacked the courage to open up and say to someone, hey, I would love, I really need a phone call right now. Like, can you call me? I'm feeling upset. I would never say that. Never. I would always be there for other people and never even indicate that I had any needs in return. And then I would feel resentful and victimized because other people wouldn't meet my needs. When I was feeling upset and lonely and whatever else, I wouldn't ask for a phone call because I thought that made me weak. It's not weak to be vulnerable. It's not weak to have needs. It's being human, and that is how we connect with each other. So, let's wrap it up, Celia, before we get way off topic. Equally yoked. Okay, you are a cow now, right? It's gonna cosplay as cows for the rest of the week, all right? You are an oxen, and you've got to start thinking about, am I equally yoked with the people in my life? Who am I more equally yoked with? Who am I most equally yoked with? Who am I least equally yoked with? Which areas of my life do I feel drained, exhausted, frustrated? These emotions are not wrong. There's nothing wrong with you for feeling like this. They're telling you something. There's something my brother taught me. Hey bro, I see you. This is something my brother told me. It's like your emotions are communicating something with you. He's really into what is it called? Internal family dynamics. He introduced me to that. It's fascinating. Look into that if you like. But yeah, he said, listen to those feelings and accept them and work out what it is they're trying to tell you. So think about what are these areas of my life where I feel frustrated with someone, I feel neglected by them. Admit it to yourself. Accept the feelings. There's nothing wrong with feeling like that. Something that really irritates me so much about the spiritual community. I'm a very spiritual person, okay? Some of it gets a little bit silly sometimes. There's this, I'm sorry if you believe this stuff, but I think it's silly. We can agree to disagree and we can still be friends. That's fine. But there's this pyramid that they have, and it's like, anger and whatever and frustration, oh, that's like a low vibration and you shouldn't feel that way. And oh, bliss and whatever the hell else is at the top or something. Huh? The hell are you talking about? Go outside and touch grass. Stop smoking so much weed. All emotions are, I wouldn't even say good. They're not good, they're not bad. They just are what they are. Like a flock of seagulls flying across the sky. Are they good? Are they bad? They're just seagulls. They're floating through. Seagulls don't float, do they? Seagulls in Aberdeen, they don't float. I don't know if they even fly. They do drive-bys with knives. All right. Holy hell. If you've ever been to Aberdeen, I know there are a few different Aberdeens in different parts of the world. This is Aberdeen, Scotland. There are different species of seagull up there. Holy hell. So, emotions, they're not good, they're not bad. They are what they are. Don't attach too much meaning to them in the sense of good versus bad. Just listen to them. They are speaking to you. They're telling you something's wrong. This doesn't feel good. This feels good. Let's do more of this. Going for a walk in nature feels good. Scrolling on your phone for 6 hours straight doesn't feel good. Don't do that. Guilty. Anyway, bye.